Hi there. In this video, I will be walking you through a brief overview of the SNO Flow platform. Flow is a content and assignment management tool that can be used in combination with your website. It can also be used independently from a website, such as planning for a literary magazine or a yearbook. In Flow, you'll be able to do everything from pitch stories, allocate assignments to members of your staff, create checklists, deadlines, workflows, and then ultimately, once a story is finished in Flow, you can publish it to your SNO website. So in this video, I'll be giving you a quick tour of all of the different locations in Flow. Please note that we do have other videos that go through each of these areas in a little bit more detail, so be sure to check those out as well. The first thing that you will see when you log into Flow is this dashboard view here. And this is going to show you anything that is relevant to you as a user. So for instance, I can use these filters to see things that are assigned to me, submitted to me. I can see things that are available, assignments that are available, assignments that are overdue, etc. So again, anything that's relevant to me as a user, I'm going to see on this dashboard screen when I initially log in. There are some buttons up here at the top to note, starting with the blue plus sign. This is where you can create a number of different things, such as a story, a checklist, a new user, etc. There is also a search button up here that I can click on to search for things within my Flow account. There is a message alert up here if I have any message notifications. There is the notification bell up here where I can see any things that have been assigned to me or things that have been passed to me for review. And then finally, there is the person icon up here that I can click on to seek support or schedule a free 30-minute Flow training. In addition to the buttons up here at the top, there are also icons located on the left-hand side in Flow. And so I'm going to give a brief overview of all of these different icons. So we're in the dashboard right now. The next one is the stories icon. That's where we're going to go to see everything that's currently in progress in our Flow account. There is a message board for communication, a layout builder for planning any kind of print layout, a calendar feature, a gallery to house all of your images, a spot to add users and groups, a few different icons related to grading, an icon to access all of your archived content on Flow, and then finally, an icon for all of your settings in Flow. And lastly, down here, there is an option to click on this support icon to access some of our Flow support materials. So let's briefly take a tour of some of these icons, starting with the stories page, the second icon down here on the left. This is going to be the main view where you can see what's going on in your publication. So I can see it's organized by deadline. I can also clearly see the story title, the status of the story, and then any assignment types that are associated with that story. And you do get an indication of the progress of those individual assignments as well. Now, there are some filtering options up here that you can utilize to make this spreadsheet a little bit more manageable as it fills up. And if I click on an individual story, I can get more detailed information about the progress of that story and any assignments that are associated with it. So that is the stories view. The next icon here on the left is going to be the message board. This works very similar to Slack messaging in that you can create different channels here, and you can make those channels private or public. You can also send direct messages, and as the advisor, you will be able to see any communications here within the message board. The next icon here on the left is the layout builder. So this is a really good one for planning any kind of print layout or print issues. You can come in here and create as many layouts as you need. You can add pages to those layouts, allocate stories to those different pages, assign members of your staff to work on the pages, and so on. So again, layout builder, great tool for organizing a print issue of some sort or a yearbook if you're using Flow for that purpose. The next icon here on the left is the calendar. Works very similar to any other electronic calendar like a Google Calendar. You can set certain deadlines to appear on the calendar. Users can also come in and add events to their own calendars here. You as the advisor can also come in and add events if you want to invite users to an event, let's say an editorial board meeting, you're able to do that as well. And then you can toggle here to choose the date range that you'd like to view on that calendar. The next icon here on the left is the gallery, and this is going to be where all images you've uploaded to Flow will be stored. You get 10 gigabytes of storage. If you need more than that, we do offer additional storage for purchase, so you can just reach out to us and let us know. There is also, the option to bulk select images in here too. The next icon down is where you will go to add and manage your users on Flow. So when I click on that users icon, you'll see I can create new users. I can also upload users in bulk using a CSV file. And to manage users, if I click on their account, I can see things like their role, their notification preferences, any tags or assignment types they're associated with, and then any permissions that they have with their user account. Similarly, the next tab down is groups. This is where I can add any groupings of users together. So for instance, if I wanted to create a group to add all of my copy editors, or maybe I have multiple editors in chief, you can come in here, create as many groups as you need, and add individual users to those groups. The next couple tabs here, or icons here, are related to grading on Flow. So the check mark is your grade book, where you can go to see all of that grading information as the advisor. If I am a staff member and I click on this grading tab, I am going to be able to see my grading information, including any grades that I have and any rubrics that I have. The next icon is the grading center, which if you are wanting to do any bulk grading, this is where you would go to do that. There are some filtering options up here at the top. So for instance, if I wanted to see assignments that are completed, I can filter here and then do some bulk grading in the grading center. The next icon over here is your archived area. So this is where you can access stories that have been archived on your Flow account. And if you need to unarchive those for whatever reason, you do have that ability to do that here. The next icon on the left is your settings, and there are a lot of different things to explore and customize in here for your Flow account. So again, we do have videos on each of these individual settings, and I highly recommend that you go check those out. But we will just do a brief overview of all of your different settings options here within Flow. So again, I'm in the settings icon here. The first is your account info, so you can see the advisor, the website, etc. The next option here within the settings is the assignment types. This is going to determine what kinds of content or products your staff will be producing on Flow. So you can see we've got writing, photography, podcast. If you want to add additional assignment types, remove them, you can do that here. You can also assign key editors to any of these assignment types. So for instance, if I had a photography or a writing editor, I can go ahead and assign those users here. Next on the list is the story tag groups. This is going to be where you kind of designate or organize where your stories are going. So for example, on this account, we have a section, publication, and issue tag group. So I have a couple sections in here, maybe a couple publications. And if I'm using Flow to plan any kind of print issue, I can designate that within this issue tag group as well. So you can add additional tag groups here. You can also add additional tags within these groups. And then lastly, like the assignment types, you can designate key editors for any of these tags. So for instance, if I had my news editors or my sports editors or opinion editors, I can designate who those users are over here. The next option to customize within your settings is your statuses. By default, you should have a pitched and an active status option, but you can create additional story statuses, and then you can select those statuses when you're putting stories on Flow to kind of indicate whether that story is pitched, active, or any other status that you choose to add. The next option in here in the settings is the deadline default. So first of all, you have a final publishing deadline or a story deadline that will default to a certain number of days after the story is created. So on this Flow account, anytime we create a new story, the final publishing deadline will be 10 days from when that story is created. I can adjust that here if I want to. In addition, I can also adjust any process deadlines here for any of my assignment types. So writing, photography, podcasts, and any additional assignment types that you choose to add to Flow, you can set up those deadlines and the defaults here. The next tab within the settings is the workflows, and this is going to be that hierarchy or system of who is reviewing particular assignments when they are submitted. There are a number of different ways to customize these, so I definitely recommend watching our video on setting up your workflows. But just to show you an example, you can add different groupings to those workflows. You can choose which assignments are going to be used or which assignments that workflow will be used for. You can rearrange the order in here. So again, just a lot of different things you can do to set up those workflows, add different editors and different groupings to them. My next option here is checklists. So this is where you can input different tasks that you want individuals to complete each time they are working on a particular assignment. So for instance, this writing checklist would be used for writing assignments, and then I can add whatever tasks I want my writer to complete there. My next couple tabs are related to grading on Flow. So first of all, the grading tab, this is where you can enable grading on Flow. You can choose a grading style here, traditional, meaning a score out of a score, or cumulative, just kind of a raw score. And then you can set up your grading periods however you'd like, quarters, semesters, trimesters, however you want to do that. There is also a spot in here to create grading rubrics if you would like to create different rubrics and then be able to apply those to different assignment types. You can do that in the grading rubrics tab here. The navigation settings is the next option. And basically, if you plan on using the message board and the layout builder icons here, you can leave these toggled on. If you do not want to use either the message board or the layout builder or both, you can toggle those off here and those will no longer show up for your staff in Flow. There are some WordPress publishing defaults that you can set here when you are sending a story from Flow to your website. So template, featured image location, and video location, if you'd like to switch those. There is a tab here to integrate your Google account, which if you use Google for drafting, I highly recommend that you do this. This is going to give your writers the option to create and work on those Google Docs directly in Flow. And again, we do have a video on how to do this, so highly recommend you go watch that one for more information. And then the last option within the settings here is an account reset. And that is going to give you the option to reset or kind of refresh your Flow account from year to year or semester to semester, or anytime you have any sort of large staffing turnover. You can come into this account reset tab and create what's called a new instance. And again, that's basically just refreshing your Flow account. And then the last tab here, or the last icon here on the left, is going to take you out to our Flow support resources. So you can feel free to peruse those as needed. So those are all of the different locations and interfaces that you will see on the SNO Flow platform. Be sure to check out some of our other videos for more detailed information about any of those. And as always, please reach out to us at support@snosites.com if you have any questions. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.